In this tutorial, we're going to be going over basics of the iloc method. Now, for starters, I'm going to have the iris dataset, so you guys can use Seaborn and iris and load that in. Now, with iloc, the way I like to think about it is the first value is going to be an x and a y based on rows, and then the second value is going to be an x and a y based on column. Now, I'll go through an example here, but before that, let's run our code, and then we're going to run iris.head to see what we're working with. Now, with iris, I already know it contains 150 rows and 5 columns. We can delete that and start off by doing iris.iloc 0 to 1. We'll run this, and since we know that the first indexer is referring to rows, it's only giving us rows 0 to 1, or row 0. If we would like, we could come over here and add the y-axis as well. Now, since this is just indexing the first column in the y-axis, it's giving us the first row and the first column. Now, another example of this in a practical application would be to index columns. Now, what we could do is we could do a colon, comma, and then 0 to 3. This will index just the first 3 columns within the dataset, instead of having to manually type out the name and then subset it. Now, some other practical application of iloc could be to solve a question like this, where it's asking us to calculate the average sepal length in one line of code. Simply, we could do iris.iloc, colon, comma, 0, and we could pass through mean. Now, you can see it's giving us this result, and what I could do here to show you guys is delete that. And with just this index, it's giving us the sepal length column. Within this column, I could just pass through the mean function and get an average just like that. In my opinion, sometimes this is even quicker than Excel if you're really familiar with the tools. And that's why I find iloc to be such a powerful method, especially if you're working with data frames across any industry. Now, that's a basic introduction to the iloc method, and I hope that helps.